What me makes really nervous is this watch here. So it gives me the time, 12 minutes, and it's really a cheap digital watch from Asia. So as a watch guy, that's crazy. But let's talk about watches. In February this year, I had the chance to meet Jeff Hoffman in Los Angeles. Jeff is a great entrepreneur of America and founder of many companies, for example, Booking.com. When I met him, he told me a story, what happened many years ago. He was in a concert with some of his friends, and after the show, they want to leave the hall, and they saw a long queue behind an open door. Everybody had to leave through this door. Jeff looked around and said to his friends, "Why we don't leave to one of these closed doors?" His friends said, "These doors are locked for sure." But Jeff said, "Why do you know this?" One of his friends said, "Look, all these people in the queue. For sure somebody already tried it out." But Jeff said, "What's when everybody is thinking like you guys and nobody tried it out and the door is open?" His friend said, "You don't want to try it out in front of all these people." But Jeff already walked along the queue, and some people said to him, "These doors are closed and locked, you can't walk out." Jeff always asked the same question. "Why do you know this? You tried it out?" As closer he came to the door, as more he was sweating. He stopped in front of the door, looked back. Shame or hero, he thought. He pushed the door opened, and he walked out. I think it's a great story. And it reminded me immediately of my DuBois Fils project. I started my business life in a trading company for clocks. Alarm clocks, wall clocks, that's what we need these days today at home. Huh? And no watches. This was in the 70s, right in the middle of a crisis in the Swiss watch industry. A lot of Asian companies entered in the business with cheap quartz movement and brought the Swiss watch industry close to a collapse. My boss said, "We are never doing business with watches because you only can lose your money." But in the 80s, Swatch and some other fashion brands entered in the market with new products and changed the global watch market. It was quite tough for me to going back to my boss and convince him to enter in the watch business. But finally he did, and this changed as well my life. In 1994, I founded my first company for fashion watches, mainly from the Fossil Group. In 2002, I sold my company to Fossil. In 2009, after 25 years working for an American watch brand, I decided to leave because I have a dream. At the same time, I passed 50. And what you are doing when you're 50, I didn't want to buy a Harley. I didn't want to change my wife. Not sure if she is happy today, but I realized it's time to make my dream real. I want to own my small Swiss watch factory because the real watch business are Swiss-made, high-quality mechanical watches. I started to look around for a small watch brand with a great history, family-owned, and not really successful. I want to find a sleeping princess which I can kiss until she is waking up. A journalist lately asked me, why you want to buy a sleeping princess and not a queen? I said, you know, the princess is cheaper than the queen. And the sleeping princess is even more cheaper than the living princess. So I started to look around. In 2010, I heard that the oldest Swiss watch factory, DuBois, is for sale. I called the owners, and we found an agreement in December 2010. You can imagine I came home, great feeling. I went to bed with a great feeling. I found my princess. She is one of the oldest Swiss watch brands, founded 1785 in Le Locle, in the heart of the Swiss watch industry, and called as well the oldest Swiss watch factory. I wake up in the middle of the night, the same night, wet, after a terrible bad dream. I saw all these big watch brands fighting against me. I wake up my wife and said to her, how stupid I am with over 50 years buying a Swiss watch company. How can I survive next to all these famous brands in Switzerland with tons of money and all the know-how? My princess started to turn into a monster before I kissed her the first time. Who wants to kiss a monster, you know? So from high to down, the whole 2011, we worked on the relaunch of DuBois. We built up a great team, great people, open-minded, and the belief that we can reach something very special. We made a new brand positioning up to the luxury. We created new products, luxury, limited edition pieces, 99 only. We made a new logo, a year of kissing my princess without a big move of her. And you can't imagine how many people told me or us that it's pretty much impossible to relaunch the Swiss watch brands without tons of money. It comes how it comes. Early 2012, we had to think about how we pay next steps. We want to go in production and we want to go into market. No support from banks, no support from private equity, and not a big interest from private investors. So where is the money come from? At the same time, I read an article in a newspaper about crowdfunding, and a lot of people investing small amounts to make great ideas real. So I studied the system of crowdfunding, and I decided to develop my own crowdfunding on my homepage to find small shareholders for DuBois. We had an aggressive target to raise 1.5 million Swiss francs, and you need to be aware that the average investment on all the crowdfunding platforms for a project is less than 100,000 Swiss francs. Only a few projects reached already over 1 million Swiss francs. When I came up with the idea to do a share capital increase of my company for 30% and selling these shares through my own homepage, everybody was laughing, and you can see in their eyes what they are thinking. When I came with the idea to the lawyers, they said, nobody on this planet did an equity funding on his company homepage before. We don't know the rules. Too much difficulties, and for sure you will run into massive legal problems. Everybody came up with real reasons why we shouldn't do a global offering of shares on our own homepage. This reminds me back to the story of Jeff, when all the people said, the door is closed, the door is locked, you can't walk out. Anyway, in August 2012, we want to know if this door is open. we started a global offering of 150,000 shares of our company with the target to raise 1.5 million Swiss francs. The minimum investment for a person was 500 Swiss francs. If we reach the target of 1.5 million and everybody is investing only 500 Swiss francs, we would have 3,000 shareholders. Who wants to have 3,000 shareholders which are creating a lot of work and troubles with a lot of PR work and the push of social media to get the traffic on our homepage? In February 2013, 6 months later, all the 150,000 shares were sold. So we reached the target of 1.5 million Swiss francs, and we had 600 shareholders from 21 different countries. People from Australia, Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, Middle East, 90% from Europe, a few from South America and Canada. At this time, we could not accept any US persons because of the strong law. 95% of these shareholders I never met before. How is it possible that somebody from Australia sends you 5,000 Swiss francs? Or from Singapore, 10,000? Or a student from Hong Kong who is not rich gives you 500 Swiss francs. So interesting how massive a presentation on your homepage can be. So we opened a door which never was opened before. But with the success of the equity funding, we created a new problem. How do we handle 600 shareholders without printing a lot of documents and without a lot of work? How can we do shareholder relationship most efficient? We started the project to be the first company worldwide who is doing paperless shareholder relationship. We developed a shareholder page where every shareholder has personal access to his profile. He can see his information, and he has his share certificate. He can download it, he can print it, he can hang it up, and he should use it for the tax declaration. We opened up a shareholder blog where we give the shareholder every 2 weeks information about the company and the market. We try to answer these shareholder questions before they even ask the question. The shareholder have a shareholder forum where they can talk to each other. So we were the first one who really are doing paperless shareholder relationship. We are doing paperless shareholder relationship since 2 years, and we never printed one document. The shareholders like and appreciate the regular information of the company, and to be part of a unique story, they feel like pioneers. In the beginning, we did the equity funding to raise money. Today, the benefit of the shareholder is more than only to raise money. A lot of our shareholders, they are wearing one of our great watches. And they are not only wearing a great Swiss watch brand, they own the brand. They are working more like brand ambassadors than as an investor. They are really talking authentic and sustainable with friends and family. Whenever you open a new door, you need to be aware that the next one is coming. Don't run away from troubles and from problems. That's our experience. Don't change your business model, your vision, or your life because people are telling you the door is closed and the door is locked. The problem can be your best next business opportunity for your business or your life. Today, DuBois is one of the most innovative watch companies around the product. We tried to open a lot of doors the last 4 years. Not all the doors open. But I can tell you, you can open much more doors than you believe. And what is our princess doing today? She is waking up, but she needs much more kisses until she becomes a queen of the Swiss watch industry. Thank you.